If this story touches your heart, don't forget to like, thumbs up, share red heart, and subscribe bell for more powerful stories like this.
Now tell me one thing in the comments.
Backhand index pointing right. If you were in Daniel's place, would you have followed Rosa, or ignored her forever? Daniel Wright was one of the youngest billionaires in New York. At just 32, he had built a tech empire that dominated headlines and crushed competitors twice his age. His company owned algorithms that predicted markets, software that monitored behavior, and systems designed to notice everything. From the top floor of his glass tower, Daniel could see the entire city breathing beneath him, traffic flowing like veins, people moving like data points. Control was his religion. Nothing escaped his attention.
Nothing. Except her.
Every evening at exactly 6:10 p.m., without fail, the old cleaning lady finished her work and quietly left his office.
Her name was Rosa.
She was thin, almost fragile, with tired eyes that looked older than her age.
She never spoke unless spoken to. Never complained. Never made mistakes. She cleaned Daniel's office always last, as if delaying something she didn't want to face. And every evening, she carried a small brown envelope tucked tightly under her arm. At first, Daniel ignored it. Cleaning staff came and went. He didn't waste mental energy on people he barely noticed. But when it happened 3 days in a row, something in his mind clicked. Same time. Same envelope. Same nervous grip. Daniel wasn't paranoid, he was trained to see patterns. And patterns usually meant risk. What was inside that envelope? Company documents? Client data? Trade secrets? One leak could cost millions. On the 4th day, Daniel didn't leave his office immediately.
He stood behind the glass wall, pretending to check emails, while watching Rosa through the reflection. Her hands shook as she adjusted the envelope. That was it. He couldn't take the risk that evening. Instead of taking the elevator to the parking garage, Daniel waited. At 6:10 p.m., Rosa exited the office, just as always. Daniel followed, quietly. She didn't notice the billionaire CEO walking 10 steps behind her in a tailored suit. Outside, Rosa didn't call a cab. She walked. Fast. Past the polished streets. Past the restaurants Daniel frequented. Past places where people spent more on dinner than Rosa probably earned in a week. She boarded a crowded city bus. Daniel frowned. He signaled his driver to follow the bus instead of heading home. The bus moved farther from the skyline, deeper into areas Daniel only knew from crime statistics and market reports. When it finally stopped, Rosa stepped off into a poor neighborhood, far from glass towers and bright lights. Daniel's car parked across the street. From the shadows, he watched. Rosa walked quickly toward a small pharmacy, its neon sign flickering like it might give up at any moment. Daniel's heart pounded. This is it, he thought. This is where she hands over company secrets. He watched through the window. Inside the pharmacy, Rosa pulled out the brown envelope. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Daniel leaned forward, his breath caught in his chest. She didn't remove documents. She removed crumpled cash. Small bills. Folded, worn, counted again and again as if hoping the amount would magically increase. The pharmacist looked at her with tired sympathy. This still isn't enough for the full dose, he said gently. Rosa's voice broke. Please, just give me half, she whispered. My brother's fever is getting worse. He hasn't slept in days. Daniel froze. Brother? The pharmacist hesitated, then sighed and reached under the counter. I'll give you what I can, he said. Rosa nodded repeatedly, tears slipping down her cheeks. Moments later, she left the pharmacy holding a tiny paper bag. No documents. No files. No secrets. Just medicine. Daniel felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. He had built systems that tracked millions of people. Yet he had completely misunderstood the one standing right in front of him. Outside, as Rosa stepped onto the sidewalk, Daniel exited his car. Rosa. Her entire body stiffened. She turned slowly, fear flooding her face. I can explain, she said quickly, her voice shaking. I never took anything from your office. I swear. You don't have to, Daniel said softly. She clutched the medicine bag to her chest. My brother raised me after our parents died, she said through tears. He's all I have. I clean offices at night and houses on weekends, but it's never enough. I would never steal from you. Daniel swallowed. I followed you, he admitted. I thought you were stealing from me. Silence fell between them. Then he asked quietly. Take me to him. Rosa hesitated, unsure if this was kindness or another test. But something in Daniel's eyes wasn't suspicion anymore. It was regret. Rosa led Daniel up 3 flights of broken stairs in an old apartment building. The hallway smelled of damp walls and old paint. Inside the apartment, the lights were dim. Her brother lay on a thin mattress on the floor, his breathing shallow, his skin burning with fever. No machines. No nurse. No help. Daniel stood frozen. This was suffering he had never seen in person. He owned buildings worth millions. Slept on silk sheets. Complained about slow Wi-Fi. And here was a man fighting for his life, unseen. Daniel took out his phone. He made 1 call. Then another. Within hours, an ambulance arrived. Doctors. Equipment. Urgency. They transferred Rosa's brother to a private hospital. Full treatment. Best specialists. No cost. Rosa collapsed, crying, unable to understand what was happening. Daniel helped her up gently. You don't owe me gratitude, he said quietly. I owe you an apology. Weeks later, Rosa's brother recovered. He smiled again. Ate again. Lived again. Rosa returned to work. But something had changed. Daniel no longer ignored the cleaning staff. He greeted Rosa every morning. By name. Because sometimes, the people we overlook carry the biggest hearts.